Good morning guys, it's Friday, it's the end of the week. Let's see how this animation has turned out. My name is Austin Rose and it is 7:44 in the morning. This is where I've got to with my lovely little animation. I've rendered out this. I think that looks pretty cool. What I did is I changed it to splined just to get an idea of how that one looks. There's a number of changes that I need to make. We have a really weird twist of the wrist, and that's because of something called gimbal lock. There's not as much energy in that jump. This pose I would like to be a lot higher. This, I do think that there's probably too many. Knock away that last frame. His feet finish, then his butt goes. So all of this is going to be needed to effectively be frame by frame, I think. The other thing is, he kind of flips backwards here, rather than continuing that momentum that we've already kind of created. That explosion out for 6, just needs to be amended. Like that landing feels a little bit too soft, so I might want to bring this foot down a little bit. That headbang at the end is far too much. Okay, so there are my notes. Okay, so today I have smoothed out the animation. What that means is that I've taken all of the stepped keys and set their tangents to auto. The animation is no longer blocky, but instead the character transitions smoothly from key to key. Though this isn't to say that the job of the animator is finished. In fact, I tend to find that this is where I spot all of my mistakes. Stepped keys are great for seeing your key poses, but they also hide a multitude of sins. Setting your key tangents to splined is like letting the computer fill in all the blanks, and it will do that without any care towards your animation. Because of this, it tends to look pretty rough, and so we need to go in, tweak our keys and refine our motion. Now there are a couple of tools and methods that we can use to sort this stuff out. The first and the most important is the graph editor. This shows us exactly what the animation is doing. Every transform on every control is represented as a line in the graph, and the line shows the value of the transform. So with this in mind, we can get a good idea of what the animation is doing just by following the line. Occasionally you'll find that 2 rotation keys look good when they're blocked, but they twist out in an odd way when smoothed. This tends to be caused by something called gimbal lock. Now that refers to the Euler method of rotation using axis orders. You can spot it on a graph wherever rotations seem to jump unreasonably from one key to the next. Now thankfully Maya knows about gimbal lock and has given us an incredibly useful tool called a Euler filter. Now this will figure out all the angles for us, reorganizing the keys to avoid any form of awkward looking twists. Next, when we are trying to smooth out our animation, we can use something called a motion trail. Motion trails show us the trajectory of our chosen control, and we can use this to see how smooth the motion is. We can visualize the arcs we have created and tweak them live, either by moving the controls or shifting the keys. Which brings us to the next part, offsetting keys. So at the moment we have set all of our keys for all of our controls on each pose. This is good practice for blocking phases, but now that we're in smoothing, it's time to go crazy. Start shifting keys, delete keys, add new ones, do anything to make the motion look good. The issue is this: if all of your keys are on the same frame, then you're going to see a bit of a ping pong effect happening. Sometimes you can literally pinpoint the frame where the key is, because the transition through that key isn't smooth enough. It can look like a motion is hitting a wall, which is terrible when it's not intended. Just offsetting those keys can make a huge difference to your animation, and will give more of a sense of follow through and secondary motion. Now just a quick note on the concepts of secondary motion, follow through and lag. I'm not relying on offsetting keys to create those things. In fact, I had intentionally posed them right at the start in the blocking phase. With animation, you don't get anything for free. nothing that looks good anyway. So don't leave it to chance. Instead, sculpt your motion exactly how you want it. So, going through it frame by frame, ba, 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 let's move that out of the way. So, sorry. Ba, ba, ba. He does his thing, slips under, whoop. Round he goes, into his position, down, pa! There it is. Something quite nice about that. And then it's just the ending to figure out, I think. Do ourselves a play blast. Let's see what I've got. He kind of clicks into that up position. It's one of those where it feels like there's too much stuff going on. Right at the start. But the swoop kind of feels good to me, I think. Okay, so it is 9:10. I'm late for work. Goodbye! Please like and subscribe because that will really encourage me and help me kind of create this sort of stuff. If you want the full video, then it will be on Patreon at some point. All of the links are down below. But for now, I'm late and I need to go to work. Goodbye!